But there is, and I hope you will be able to get out from under any fog if you're in a foggy place this morning. I hope you're able to get out and just really recognize, the beauty. And it might not even be necessarily critical for you to go outside to feel the beauty that is around you. You might be able to tap, and I know it's there, the beauty in simply, looking at the face of someone, or, feeling a pet you love as it rubs up against you in some way, or possibly just the beauty that maybe as you just see your own reflection in something. So that, that presence is always there. We want to really recognize that. So this morning it's Friday, and on Fridays we've been doing strengthening work, and we're going to do that again today as well. So I don't want to disappoint you if you were looking forward to that. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a comfortable seat. So once again, take this time to connect to the ground beneath you. To lengthen your spine. And to deepen your breath. To connect to your breathing. You might notice in your body where you feel the muscles and bones that move in response to your breath. Beauty, this is David White, beauty, the harvest of presence, the harvest of presence. The effervescent moment of seeing or hearing on the outside what already lives far inside us. The eyes, the ears, or the imagination suddenly become a bridge between the here and the there, between then and now, between the inside and the outside. Beauty is the conversation between what we think is happening outside in the world and what is just about to occur far inside us. The harvest of presence. The moment of seeing or hearing on the outside what already lives far inside us. The eyes, the ears, or the imagination suddenly become a bridge between the here and the there, between then and now, between the inside and the outside. Beauty is the conversation between what we think is happening outside in the world and what is just about to occur far inside us. Releasing any control on your breath. And honoring your presence, bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra, your hands in front of your heart. Let's chant the sound of Om and sing Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Taking a deep inhale. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And then with your next exhale, welcome to bow your head towards your heart. And then release your hands and lift your hands. And to begin our practice this morning, it'll take a moment. Can most of you hear me? Noreen can't hear me.
No, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Okay, well, just give it a moment to adjust. All right, let's see if that works. Can you hear me now? Give me a thumbs up or something. Yes, okay. Okay, so to begin our practice this morning, we're going to come to the ground. We're going to come to the floor. I want you to lie on your back with your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor. So you'll be here. And when you arrive in this position with your feet on the ground and you're lying on the back, just take a moment once again to connect to where your body touches the ground. And let's just move the arms for a moment now. Let's take the arms. Inhale, reach them overhead. You can have palms up towards the sky. And then with your next exhale, bring your arms down alongside your body. Palms can face the floor. The inhale, lift your arms. Arriving at the top of the inhale with the arms overhead. There's the pause. Let your exhale begin as you bring the arms back down alongside your body. A pause at that. And the inhale, move them. So 2 more times, just in concert with your breath. See if your torso can stay stable. It doesn't matter to me how far your arms go. I'm more concerned that you're working with the pace of the inhale and the exhale. Let's do 1 more. And then the next time your arms come down, just rest them down, roll the palms back up towards the sky. And we're going to take hands behind your head, elbows toward each other. With your next exhale, lift your head, rest your head in your arms elbows toward each other. And then with the next exhale, you're gonna pick up left knee towards right elbow. You come down, you can take the head back and the foot down. There's the inhale. The exhale, pick up opposite knee, opposite elbow twist. The inhale comes back. The exhale, repeat. So the inhale, you're doing this little touch between maybe the knee and the elbow. That's the exhale. Let there be time for your inhale in between. You can either exhale slowly out the mouth like you're blowing out a straw, or you can exhale out the nose. Either way. Sometimes exhaling out that straw breath can be a good abdominal toning that you feel. And you're either going to stay with this particular way of doing this movement, inhaling when you're down, exhaling, or you might add bringing the knee in towards the opposite elbow and straightening the other leg. Like the more traditional kind of bicycle. The exhale. Inhale on the middle. And we'll just do 2 more to each side. And then you'll come back to center. You'll rest the feet, release the head, rest the arms down. Walk the feet as wide as your mat. Let the knees rest against each other. Inhale, take the arms overhead and rest them overhead. And then with your next inhale, go ahead. Lift your arms, roll over to a side. Use the arms. You push yourself up. All right. And let me show you the next part. The next part is going to be, I'm going to come down on my forearms here. Both feet are on the ground. And then I'm going to take, like, say, left leg straight. And I'm going to do a circle with my legs. Circle, and I'm going to keep my legs straight. And I'm going in one direction. Breathing. Okay, so you can join me when you're ready. Then I'm going to go the other direction. All right, and then I'm going to bring that foot back to the ground. And I'm going to take the other leg, I'm going to do a circle. So I'm doing about 8 reps in each direction. Back the other way whenever you're ready. All right, good deal. And then I'll bend that knee, bring it back to the floor. I'm going to bring my upper back to the ground. And now I'm going to straighten both legs and reach both arms overhead. Just a Gumby kind of moment. Reaching through the right side, Reaching through the left side, reaching through both sides. Taking a deep inhale and then the exhale, bring the arms back, bend the knees, roll over to one side, use the arms and push yourself back up. And then come over to all fours and take a puppy pose. So remember, in puppy, you're not sitting putting the sit bones back to the heels. You're reaching the arms forward, just like downward dog arms. Great. And then we can walk the hands back. All right. And then some of us are going to go ahead, if it's okay, with weight bearing on the arms, and we're going to take a plank pose. You can be in a forearm plank if plank is uncomfortable. If plank is uncomfortable, you could use blocks, and you could stack your blocks kind of at an angle with each other. If being on the wrist is a problem, and you could clasp the hands and take a forearm plank if that is more comfortable for you. The thing about forearm plank is you're going to want to really lift up out of the shoulder joint. All right, so whichever you've chosen, we'll now go ahead and bring the knees back down. And you'll take, you could go back to puppy. Or, we're going to go back again to plank. And so, at least if you wanted to work on the floor, you could always do that. Otherwise, here we go back to plank. Breathing in the plank pose. And exhale back to downward facing dog slowly. So you're working on the stability and strength. Take the hips up and back. And working with your breath, you're going to inhale forward to plank. Beautiful. That's it right there, Jackie. Great. Exhaling back to downward dog. And can you do some more of those? So you're just working on that transition. Watch the ability to stay steady through the core, the center of your body as you move between these two. Good job. And then the next time you go back, you come forward to plank, the next time you come forward to plank, let's begin to bend the knees. And can you curl the knees toward your wrists and then lightly touch the knees down and take child's pose with the arms extended. All right, and then we're going to come back up to all fours. Let's grab your blocks and let's step your right foot forward. Tuck the left toes under and come into a lunge. Going on, Diego. So you're in a lunge with the back heel lifted. Begin to take the arms, fingers away from your blocks. Can you take your arms out wide and inhale upright? You could either keep the arms wide or lift them up by the ears. Inhale them wide. Exhale, slowly bow forward. Inhale, step your back foot forward. There you are at Uttanasana. And exhale, step your other foot back. There you are in your low lunge again. The blocks framing the front foot. Take the blocks the hands lightly away from the blocks, arms out wide. And inhale upright. Good. Great. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, see, there's the beauty moment. I see that. And you might, Sandra, just bring the torso up a little more. So you can bring your torso a little more vertical. Yep. And then when you're ready, everyone, inhale the arms wide. And exhale, bow forward. Good. Inhale, let's step forward. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms overhead. And exhale, hands back in front of your heart. And relax both arms. I think it was, sorry, Diego's out there. I gotta go look for him in a sec. But I think it was either last week or it was, anyway, sometime in the past couple of weeks. We were doing some work with stepping back. And we're gonna do some work with that again. Now, for some of you, I don't know if you want, if having the back of a chair handy, because this is what it's gonna look like. So if I want to use a chair, I would have my hands lightly at the back of the chair. And I'm gonna bend both knees, shift my weight into my right leg, and I'm gonna step my left foot back. So here's the step back. And then I'm gonna root down, step forward. I'm gonna do the same side, step back. So I could either use a chair, step forward, or without a chair, I can do the same. I could go arms wide. Step back. Step forward. Step back. Step forward. Okay, so we're gonna I want you to do about 3 on each side. 3 to 5 on each side. I just have to get Diego, hang on, keep going, keep going. What are you doing? What did you do? Come back in. And that's it. Working with your breath. Excellent. That's it. Great, Al. Really nice. Reaching back. You might try straightening the back leg a little more as you're back there. Yeah. So just doing 3 to 5 on each side. That's it. Arms can either be wide if you're not using the chair, or you can reach them up. Either way. That's it. And Sandra, if your hands are on a chair, pull the chair really close to you so you don't have to lean too far forward. Yeah, back that way. That way you get that torso up and the front of the hip joint can stay open. All right. So there we are working on that. And then when you've balanced these 2 sides, you can come back to standing. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by the dog. Imagine that. All right, so now let's turn sideways on your mat, and we're gonna set up for side angle. We'll go to your left first. Your left foot, I'm gonna mirror you. Your left foot is gonna be your forward foot. And you're gonna have a block or 2 blocks if you need it, at your left outer shin or ankle. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, take the arms out. And exhale, Parsvakonasana, side angle. So even now, you know, we just worked a lot with the strengthening. So just notice what happens when you reach out the left inner thigh and all the way down into the left heel. And then really opening through that skyward side of your body. Where's the base of the neck? C7. Where's the base of the skull? And then with your next inhale, come on up. And then let's shift the feet to go the second direction. Inhale the arms wide. And then exhale, side angle. Lengthening out the right inner thigh all the way to the right inner knee. So you know that the knee is open and out. You reach all the way down into that heel. Is the weight balanced in the right heel? You might, take your back leg back more. Give yourself a little more length. That's it, yeah. And as you reach down into that front heel, and you might, Jackie, a little longer. I think you have a little longer stance available. Yeah, then we're opening into that skyward side of the body. And you can ask yourself, where's the base of the neck? Bring it, draw C7 back and down. Yeah, like that. Beautiful. That's it, Noreen. Exactly. Yeah. Good one. Great. Stay with it. Yep. Good, everyone. You see, even when you're just a little square, there is so much beauty. Just my ability to see you. I see you. Inhale, come on up. Step your feet wide apart. Make them parallel. Bring your blocks around if you need them. I just have that moment of like, I so appreciate your being here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And I know that I'm not alone in expressing that appreciation for being here and practicing. So making your feet parallel. Hands upon your hips. Lifting through the top of your breastbone. Deep breath in and the exhale, bowing forward. We'll bring hands to either the ground or the blocks with the wrists underneath the shoulders. So you're reaching from the inner knees all the way to the heels. And we're going to take a twist. So if the hands are on blocks, keep them on blocks as you slide your right hand to the midline. So you might have your right hand on your block, or you might have it on the ground. Left hand up on your hip. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your skull. And with your exhale, turning towards your left. Exhale, come back to center. Switch the hands. Right hand up on the hip. Lengthen all the way out through the front of the spine the back of the body, the side body, and twisting. And then we'll exhale back to center. This time, let's walk the hands towards the space between your feet, just that direction. And then we'll walk the hands back out. Let's shift them up to the hips. Inhale, come all the way up. And then step the feet together and take mountain pose. Inhale, lift both arms. And exhale your hands back down in front of your heart. And then let's release both arms. And let's take an upper back opener. So you're going to come down to the ground. Can you bring 2 blocks end to end? If you have 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, you could always just roll up a blanket. Excuse me, my love. Oh my gosh. And if you have 2 blocks, you're going to take one of your blankets and put it over those blocks. Excuse me, Diego. So I can pad those blocks a bit. And then I'm going to sit in front of them and bring the upper back onto the blocks, hands behind the head, elbows toward each other again. And here, I'm going to come back to remembering some tone in the belly so that it's not about, I'm not in any hurry to go back. In fact, I want to try to keep my lower ribs a little bit down so that this opening I get is more about my upper back than my lower back. So I'm going to tone my belly and take it slow because the upper back can have a lot of feedback of, whoa, oh my gosh, you can really feel. So I'm going to pause in places that feel some resistance. So I'm not going to hurry to any destination. I want to try to be really present for what's happening. I'm still taking my time, not going anywhere in particular. And then with the next exhale, I'm going to lift my head back up. Straighten one leg or maybe both. See if I can use my abdominals to lift myself back up. All right, and now I'm going to take my blanket off of my blocks. And I'm going to take my 2 blocks. I'm going to sit cross-legged. And I've got my, and it doesn't matter if you're sitting exactly cross-legged. You could sit with the legs out or straight even. Although you can even sit up on a blanket. We're going to do, because this is it. Why then? What are we doing? Here's what we're doing. I will show you and then you can decide. I'm pulling my blocks in to put my hands on. I actually have them a little angled off to my side. And I'm going to press into my blocks and see when I press into my blocks, can I lift my hips from the ground? And then slowly, can I lower myself back down? Yeah? So I'm gonna do, I don't know, maybe I'll do about 6 of those. On the exhale, I'm gonna press down, lift up. Slow on the descent. There's the inhale. The exhale is going up. The inhale. So we're using arm strength and abdominal strength. Arm strength to push ourselves up, and also abdominal strength to lift our hips up. Yep. You could even be kneeling if you would rather be kneeling than cross-legged. If you were kneeling, you're not having to push yourself so high. Okay? And then you can, rest in whatever is a comfortable position for you. That was a good choice, these, not to stretch your elbow with those. Those of us that want to do a little more, we might come back. Again, you could be kneeling or sitting on the ground. We might go, can I press myself up and can I lift? Oh, just lift my knees. I can keep my feet down and lower. So you might do about 6. You could do the same, or you might go, I'm going to lift my hips and my knees. I can have my feet on the ground. So I can press up. Can I bring my knees up? Can I come back down? And you might do the, or you go back to just the ones. That's it. Yep. Hips go up, knees. So we feel a lot of work in the arms for those, but also the abdominals to bring the knees up. Yes? And then if you're still carrying on and you want to add one more, you'll go hips, knees, and feet. Feet, knees, hips. So you can try that. All right. Okay, and then you're going to come down. All right. And then let's come over to all fours and let's take up an opener of the upper back. So this upper back opener, if you have a chair, you could have that chair slide forward toward you. This is one option. You could pad the chair with a blanket like that. And then I'm going to have a block available. And I remember the block can be narrow or somewhat wide or really wide, right? These are the three widths of my block. So when I have that here, and I know the narrowest setting will be probably easier because it's not requiring as much external rotation of my shoulders. And I'm going to take my above my elbows towards my upper arm on the padded edge of my chair. Take my block between my hands. I'm going to add a little tone to my belly, and I'm going to work right here. And I can press into my block on either the narrowest setting, the medium setting, or possibly the widest setting. I'm busy breathing, using my ujjayi. And then I'm going to release my block and walk my knees forward towards my chair and sit my block off to one side. And just pause for a moment. Okay, then I'm going to take my blocks. Now, if I have a chair and another blanket, I'm going to take this blanket to pad my knees. And it's going in front of my chair seat. So, and if I don't have a chair, I could just, roll up a blanket to put underneath my back ankle. If I have a chair, I'm going to use it just for my foot. So I have my blocks. If I take my left foot up to find the chair seat and my right foot forward, oh yeah. And then sometimes I like having two blocks under the same side as my knee that's back. And I'll take my other hand on the top of, so I've got my left foot back and my right hand on the top of my right leg. My two blocks stacked. I'm not right on my left knee. I'm above it. I'm above my left kneecap. Actually on the top of my femur. And with each exhale, I am thinking of how do I soften through the top, the middle of the left thigh, towards the lower left thigh. And then I'm going to back my hips back up and take the other side. Feel free to ask any questions. So I'll move my blocks over to the right. I'll put my left foot up on the pad. Right foot up on the pad. And now my left knee is coming forward. I have my right hand on my 2 blocks stacked together and my left hand at the top of my left leg. Can you lift at the top of the breastbone as you soften through the middle right thigh? That's great. And then I'm going to take my hips back. Take my foot off the chair seat. Yeah. Oh, I forgot the little experiment. And then we're just going to sit in kneeling, if that's okay. One of the experiments I like to do with that, but I forgot to do it with you. But if you practice that at home, if you practice that stretch, you might just sit like this in between the 2 sides and feel the length between the collarbones on each side and the top of the pelvis or groin area. And you might notice that right now. How is that space between collarbones and the legs? And let's take a simple twist to your right. So we're going to take just the right hand behind and the left hand across. And then we're going to go to the other side. Come to center. We'll take a simple twist to your left. And then we'll come back together. Okay, great. All right. Now, let me show you one other thing we're going to do. This will be something we haven't done in a while. So I'm going to go back to, let's see. I'm going to have my 2 blocks end to end at the top of my mat. I'm going to take one of my blankets folded in half lengthwise, just like in a T with those blocks. And I'm going to take another blanket folded in half lengthwise. That's going to go kind of like the same direction as those 2 blocks. That's for my shins. And I wouldn't mind having one more blanket on that. Let me just grab one since Diego's using those others. I'm going to take, if you have it, another blanket across those. And now what? I'm going to lie down. So my shins are on the 2 blankets. My torso is lying across this upper blanket. And I'm going to take my upper arms on these blocks. I wouldn't mind these being a little taller if you wanted to use a bolt. So I've got the forearms on the blocks. If you have a bolster, you could use a bolster You could even try putting the bolster either on the ground or on top of your block. Like that. Now I'm going to reach down the shins towards my toenails, and I'm going to start to lift through the top of the breastbone. I have my hands, I could have them in Anjali Mudra or my fingers pressing into each other, pressing the shins toward the toenails. Rolling the top of the breastbone. Wow, I feel this between the diaphragm and the upper intestine. That's where I feel this. And then I'm going to release. Take the hands back to the ground and push myself up and back to child's pose. I can use a block or a bolster. I have my palms up towards the sky. All right. And then I'll walk myself up from there. Now, if you have a chair, I want to take this supported version. So I'm going to bring my chair back on my mat. If I have a bolster, I'm going to use my bolster and my 2 blocks. So what am I doing? I'm going to take the blocks kind of on one block is on the lowest setting there. And the second block is on a diagonal, like that. And I'm going to take my bolster, you see, and lean it against that. And then I might either sit on a blanket or maybe, let's see, I have a pretty short torso. So I'm going to take one of my blankets and sit on it in front of that setup. And I could either take both legs straight, or I could take, Baddha Konasana legs. But I know I just used those 2 blocks. So I'm going to reach back and just kind of, well, maybe I don't need to. I'm going to reach my hands back to support me. Hands behind my head. Now, and if I might reach my arms back overhead. They're not quite long enough to reach my chair. I bet if I sat on another blanket. Or turned my chair around. I'm going to try that. I'm going to turn my chair around. I might be able to reach my chair. That might feel nice. Let me try it. So I'm coming back. Oh yeah. Now I guess I didn't need to turn my chair around because now it's too close. There it is. I do like being able to reach the chair. So you could do it either by sitting on 2 blankets. If you don't have a bolster, you might try putting 2 blankets or some pillows against those 2 blocks. I want something under my head. And there is a fair amount of strength that is being required for this reaching through the arms. But if you don't have the arms overhead, that's all right. You can rest them out to the sides. And then just another minute, if you're okay with it, just stay in there for another minute. And then you'll lift yourself back up. Great. And we're gonna take a twist from there. So we could, if we had, that little stack, we can move that out of the way. Move our blocks out of the way. I'm gonna sit upon one or two blankets, probably on the short end of those two blankets. And I'm going to take Matsyendrasana. So if I bring your left heel under you and your right foot across. Can you balance the weight in the hips there for a moment? You can sit on a block. Oftentimes, this is also, if you bring your seat a little higher, you'll be able to balance the weight easier. So seated on a block can also be really helpful. I think that's the way I used to have you do it when we were at the studio, was seated on the block. And then we're going to be turning towards the lifted knee. So you're turning towards your right. So you can take the right hand behind. You can either have the hand at this outer knee, or you could come a little forward and hug it. You can keep the right hand behind, or take the right hand to grab the left wrist or forearm. All right, let's come back to center. Let's straighten both legs. So we're going to take both legs straight because we had them bent. We'll straighten them out before we take the second side. So we give our knees some time to be, and then we'll take the other side. Tucking that, so you pull that left leg over and under, or your right leg, sorry, over and under. Left leg across. The big toe doesn't need to touch the ground. Turning towards your left, either just hugging the knee or a hand at the outer knee. The left hand can be behind or grabbing onto the wrist. And then we'll come back to center and we'll take both legs straight again. All right. Now, can we do a seated alternate nostril breathing before we come to Shavasana? All right. So whatever is a comfortable seat for you, and also can you think about what you want your Shavasana to look like? So set yourself up for a comfortable seat and know how that transition into Shavasana is going to be like for you. So you won't have to disturb the mind too much. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and take a comfortable seat. And I like to just, connect to the breath to begin. In Nadi Shodhana, we are not practicing Ujjayi. We're not doing Ujjayi when we're in our alternate nostril breathing. So whenever you take your comfortable seat, just drop into your breath. You don't have to drop into Ujjayi. You can if you want to. But when you're in the alternate nostril breathing, you're not practicing Ujjayi. And then when you're ready, you can bring your right hand up. I like to use the ring finger and pinky finger on the left side and the thumb on the right. And I use the hands more like calipers. So I use the point of the fingers to press into that bony, just below the bony cartilage, not the flat part. So I'm not, the nostrils won't stick so much if I use the tips of these fingers and thumb. But when you're ready, just take a soft exhale through both nostrils, and then you'll close the right, inhale left. Just practicing. I think all of you have practiced this before, so I'm not going to guide you really. Just remembering, that a round of the breath begins on the left and ends on the left. The next time that you exhale left, go ahead and release any whole control on your breath. And then you're welcome to bring yourself down to Shavasana. Beauty, the harvest of presence, the moment of seeing or hearing on the outside, what already lives far inside us. The eyes, the ears, or the imagination suddenly become a bridge between the here and the there, between then and now, between the inside and the outside. Beauty is the conversation between what we think is happening outside in the world and what is just about to occur far inside us. Beauty is the harvest of presence. Allowing your breath to deepen. And awakening your body to movement, making a mindful transition to one side, using the support of your hands to press yourself back up to sitting. And then bringing your hands in front of your heart. May we harvest that presence so we can experience those moments that can be oh so tender and so meaningful. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.